Hello everyone and welcome to a new video of Azahara letters. Today I'm going to show you a few exercises to improve your print letters, your print handwriting, also called block letters. If you are having difficulties to write the print handwriting in a good way, today I bring you a bunch of basic exercises to review the basic strokes of this kind of letter, improve it and well, make it prettier. First of all, I want to guide you and tell you that this notebook that I am using has some little squares of 4 by 4 millimeters, so you can get an idea of the size of what I am doing. The first stroke that we are going to practice is the vertical from top to bottom. First, we are going to make them one height and then downwards from two height, like this. Of course, we have to try to make them straight and then do it without the little squares, also making sure that it comes out straight. We continue with the same thing, only practicing the ascending ones, and we continue until we get it right. Well, now I am going to tell you in which letters we use each of these strokes. For this one, for example, we are going to do the I, the A, this stroke here, or the N, the M, obviously the ñ for Spanish, also the R, this first stroke here. For these long descenders, we are going to use it above all for the P and for the Q with crossbar or not. We are going to use the ascenders for the letter B, for letter L, and a little bit smaller for the T. Let's go now with the horizontals. These are very simple and very short. We just have to do this. And it serves mainly for the letters Z and T, and for the top of the ñ. Let's go now with the diagonals. Be careful with the diagonals because it's very important to practice them on both sides. And also keep in mind one thing, that is, they go from this part to this part, this side to this side, to the middle of the square, not to the other corner of the square. Okay, so then first for one side and then for the other, also taking into account from here. And then if we want, this is optional, from this corner to this corner, from down here, from here to here. And these are going to work for the letter K, V, the double V, the X, and the Y. Let's go now with the ascenders. For the ascenders, it's important to do this curve up here and go down 2 squares. Actually, the baseline would be this one here, with 2 heights. We can practice it better if we take this corner for reference. And obviously, I think you can already see in this form is mainly for the letter F. Then we go to the descending ones, which are the same but downwards, as if we were doing it backwards. So with 2 heights we are doing this. A little bit bigger if we want to do it more curved. What are the letters for these strokes? Well, you will be seeing around here that it looks like a J, but it's not the only one because the G also has these shapes. Let's go now with the bridges, and of course it's all about making these turns upward or these bridges. You are already intuiting the N, the ñ or the M, but also there are other letters such as the H, which has in this bridge. Of course, the M, the N, and the ñ. Let's go with the same, but the other way around. They can be called U's or they can also be called downwards turns, and is the same but in reverse. Obviously, the name is not misleading, it is for the letter U. And maybe you could also make a Y and write it like this one. The next thing we are going to practice are the semicircles. First, we are going to do them to one side, and, as in previous cases, we don't have to make the whole square, but more or less stay halfway, like from this point to this point. Now you have to make the semicircles towards the other side from this point to this point of the square. And now we are going to see for which letters is each one of these strokes. Obviously, this one looks like a C, but before we already have an A, the C, the D, the G, which is more than a semicircle. Now we are going to see that it is almost a whole circle, but well, we are already playing with this movement. In the opposite movement, here we are seeing a B or a P. Let's move on to the last exercise, which is the circles, and you have to practice the circles in two ways. Clockwise, like this, inscribed in each little squares, but also towards the other side, the inverse to the clockwise one, because in this way we are already preparing for different types of letters. Like I've shown you before, the A's, which is done to one side, or the B or the P, which are done to the other side. Okay, so what letters are using it for? Of course, for the O, for although it does not seem to be the E, because the E, if you notice, is inscribed in a circle and in a certain way. Also for the S, because the S is usually left orphaned, but if you look at an S, it could be a circle so much than a semicircle. Upward, turn, semicircle, downward. See? I'm doing this brief review for the basic strokes that I have made of verticals, horizontals, diagonals, ascending, descending, the bridge, the use, the semicircles and circles. We realize that we have all the necessary strokes and all the shapes to make all the letters of the alphabet, print letter alphabet, of course. However, take a look, because I've done it following this guideline, which is 4 millimeters each little square. It has the X height 4 millimeters, the descending ones 4 millimeters, and the ascending ones 4 millimeters. And 4 millimeters, this is a quite big letter. Next, I am going to show you another way to make this alphabet where these proportions vary a little, so stay tuned. Here I go. Now I am going to write the alphabet 3 times following 3 different guidelines, so you can see the difference and choose the one that best suits your handwriting and your letter size. Here I go. As you can see, this letter is quite wide and quite tall, so it's proportionate. Now it's the same X height, but with the ascenders and descenders a little small. The result is a letter a little bit flatter, a little bit more condensed. And now the one that best fits my handwriting, which is the 333 millimeters, so it is to say it's a smaller letter. I think that when we write in print letters, it could be the most suitable to write faster. As a result, we have a smaller and wider handwriting. Well, now we have it all. The basic strokes on the one hand, that we have seen at the beginning, and then these 3 ways of writing this print letter alphabet or block letter alphabet into different proportions according to your handwriting and your way of writing. Did you like this video? If so, please thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Here appears my pictures, click on it or tap with the fingers and will appear subscribe, and also click on the little bell so that you get all the notification of my videos and you can learn with more exercise to improve your handwriting and calligraphy. Thank you very much for watching this video and see you soon.